Divine Feminine. You know what's wild? Spirit just dropped this message so strongly. This is not a coincidence. The fact that you're here right now, hearing these words, means something is aligning for you in real time. Everything that's been shifting around you, the people acting different, the sudden changes, the strange patterns, none of it is random. Spirit is saying you're not imagining it. You're being shown things because you're meant to see them. Every little thing happening right now is information. The universe is speaking through situations, through energy, through the way people reveal themselves to you. And it's not to scare you. It's to prepare you. Spirit's saying, pay attention. You're stepping into a new level of awareness, one where your intuition is your greatest protection. So if something feels off, it probably is. Nothing that's unfolding right now is by accident. It's all part of your awakening, your confirmation, your alignment. Hello, soul family. Welcome to Spiritual Manifestation. If this is your first time, welcome. If not, I'm glad to have you home. I just want to take a moment to say how grateful I am that you're here, because the energy that's already coming through feels powerful, and I can tell this message is meant for someone who truly needs it today. Before we dive in, a quick reminder: if you feel called to go deeper, the extended readings and extra guidance are always available on Patreon and through YouTube memberships. That's where we get into the longer, more personal layers of these messages, and it's a beautiful space to connect on a deeper level. And while you're here, don't forget to support the channel by liking this video, leaving a comment below, and sharing this reading with someone who may need to hear it. Your energy in this community makes such a difference, and I love reading your thoughts and reflections. Now let's go ahead and shuffle the deck together. Spirit, we ask you to guide us in this moment, to bring through the clearest and most aligned messages for those listening. As I set the energy for this reading, I can already feel the cards beginning to stir, and I know something important is ready to come through. I just pulled the star for this message, and wow, Divine Feminine, Spirit couldn't have chosen a more comforting card to begin this reading. The star shows up when the universe wants to remind you that you're protected, guided, and watched over in ways you might not always see. Spirit is saying, you are safe. You are covered. You are surrounded by light that never leaves your side. Even if things around you feel uncertain or you've been second-guessing the path ahead, Spirit wants you to breathe because you're not walking alone. There's this beautiful sense of divine protection around you, almost like a soft shield of energy that follows you everywhere you go. I'm also picking up on a strong ancestral presence, someone who's been guarding you so closely it feels like they've made it their personal mission. For some of you, this could be a loved one who's passed on, or a powerful ancestor from your lineage who has chosen you to carry something sacred forward. They're not just watching over you. They're guiding your steps, whispering through signs, through songs, through sudden feelings of peace when you need it most. Spirit keeps showing me wings, like you are constantly being covered, even when you can't see who's holding the umbrella. The star energy also carries messages through nature, birds, feathers, and small moments that seem to appear out of nowhere. If you've been seeing birds frequently or feeling a sudden pull toward the sky, that's no coincidence. It's your ancestors saying, "We're here." They're reminding you that you are safe to take that next step, safe to dream again, and safe to trust what's unfolding. You're stepping into a chapter where your courage and your calling will meet, and they're making sure you're protected as you do. Spirit is also showing me that your faith has been tested lately. There may have been moments where you felt like the universe went quiet, like your prayers were hanging in the air with no answer. But the star reminds you that silence isn't absence, it's alignment. Things are moving for you behind the scenes in ways you can't yet see. Your ancestors are saying, "Trust the unseen." Every delay, every detour, and every pause is part of your protection. You are never being ignored, you are being prepared. I'm being shown that for some of you, you're standing right on the edge of something new. Maybe a decision, an opportunity, or a leap of faith that scares you a little. The star is Spirit's way of saying, go for it. You've already been equipped with everything you need. You wouldn't feel the pull if you weren't ready. The energy around you feels like divine timing clicking into place. And even if it doesn't make sense yet, you're being divinely led towards something that aligns with your purpose, not your fear. There's also a healing message here. The star is all about restoration, not just physical or emotional, but spiritual healing that goes deep into your lineage. Spirit says you're breaking patterns that your ancestors couldn't. That's why your journey may feel heavier at times, because you're clearing what came before you. Every time you choose peace over reaction, faith over worry, and love over fear, you're healing your bloodline. That's why your ancestors stay so close to you. They see you doing what they could only dream of doing. Spirit also wants you to start trusting the way your environment shifts when something is meant for you. The air feels lighter, your energy feels stronger, and opportunities begin to flow effortlessly. That's how divine alignment feels. So if you've been feeling a pull to move in a certain direction, even if it's small, even if it doesn't make complete sense, that's your green light. Your protection isn't just spiritual armor. It's also intuitive guidance nudging you gently forward. And finally, Spirit says this: don't underestimate your light. The star is a reminder that your presence brings peace to others, even when you don't realize it. People feel safer around you because your energy is pure, calm, and guided by something higher. You're not just protected, you are protection in human form. So when life feels uncertain, just remember, you were never meant to walk in fear. You are a light in motion, guided by love, guarded by Spirit, and chosen for a purpose far greater than what you can see right now. Spirit is saying the only thing left to do is believe it. When you truly know that you're safe, you move differently. You walk with confidence. You speak your truth without fear. You make decisions without needing outside validation because you feel the support behind you. The star is your sign, your confirmation that divine protection isn't just a promise, it's already surrounding you right now. So wherever you go next, go knowing this: you are guided, you are covered, and you are exactly where you're meant to be. The next card I just pulled is the High Priestess. The High Priestess appears when Spirit wants to remind you that your light is seen, even in silence. Divine Feminine, people can feel your energy shifting. They can sense that something about you is different, elevated, and powerful. You might not even be saying much, but your presence speaks volumes. The high priestess holds sacred wisdom that can't be faked or hidden, and that's exactly what's happening with you. You're stepping into a new level of spiritual visibility, the kind that draws attention naturally, even from those who don't fully understand why they're drawn to you. Spirit is showing me that this attention you're receiving isn't random. There are eyes on you, yes, but there's also divine protection surrounding you. You're being watched, but not in a way that should make you fearful, in a way that confirms that you're chosen. The high priestess energy around you is mysterious, magnetic, and deeply guarded. Your ancestors, your guides, and your higher self are watching them as they watch you. Nothing escapes Spirit's sight. It's like there's a layer of divine surveillance, making sure that you are never truly vulnerable to harm. For some of you, this season might feel like revealing season. People's true colors are surfacing, but so is your authentic power. You're being shown who's genuine, who's curious, and who's projecting, because the high priestess stands for truth hidden beneath illusion. You're seeing through people, and they're seeing a version of you that's no longer dimmed down. That's why the energy around you feels so charged right now. Your spiritual frequency is rising, and it's making waves in the unseen world. Spirit says that the reason this is happening now is because your light can no longer stay hidden. There's something sacred that's meant to be shared, whether it's a calling, a message, or a creative gift. And with that comes spiritual eyes watching closely, both human and divine. But here's the truth. Nothing and no one can touch what's divinely protected. You're not just walking with faith. You're walking with an entire spiritual team that moves ahead of you, clearing paths before you even take the first step. Spirit is saying that this is a season of discernment, a time where you're meant to see things as they truly are, not as you wish them to be. The high priestess holds the mirror of truth, and she's revealing everything that can no longer be hidden from your awareness. Pay close attention to your intuition right now. It's sharper than ever. If someone's energy feels off, it probably is. If you feel guided to pull back, trust that nudge. Your sensitivity isn't paranoia, it's protection. Spirit is heightening your awareness because you're about to step into something greater, and not everyone around you is meant to come along. There's also a strong message here about energetic boundaries. The high priestess doesn't chase or explain, she observes. Spirit is encouraging you to adopt that same energy. You don't owe anyone access to your peace, your plans, or your process. When your light grows, curiosity grows with it. But not every curious eye has pure intentions. This is why Spirit is tightening your energetic circle, allowing only those aligned with your frequency to truly reach you. You're learning how to protect your peace without having to fight for it. I'm also being shown that your visibility is part of your divine purpose. You're meant to be seen, but seen correctly. Some people are drawn to your light because it feels familiar, others because it exposes what they still need to heal. Don't take either reaction personally. You're simply reflecting back truth, and that truth can feel uncomfortable for those still hiding from themselves. Spirit says that's why you've been feeling those energy surges lately, because every time your vibration rises, it triggers awakening in others, even if they don't understand it yet. Lastly, the High Priestess brings reassurance that your path is divinely guarded. You're not being tested, you're being refined. Spirit is clearing distractions, illusions, and unnecessary noise so you can focus fully on what's real. You might find yourself pulled toward solitude, quiet reflection, or even distance from social spaces. That's not isolation, it's alignment. You're being prepared to step into your next season with clarity, grace, and divine confidence. So, if lately you've felt watched, remember this. You are, by spirit, by your ancestors, by energies that want to see you rise, and yes, by others who can't help but notice your glow. But the High Priestess reminds you that mystery is your power. You don't need to explain, prove, or defend. Just keep walking in your truth, because your energy alone is speaking loud enough. And Spirit is making sure that every eye that falls on you sees exactly what they're meant to see and nothing more. Moving forwards, I just pulled the Devil card. The Devil shows up when it's time to break free from what's been holding you back, not just in the physical world, but in the energetic and ancestral realm too. Spirit is saying you've been caught in what feels like a loop spell, a pattern that's been repeating through generations, relationships, or emotional cycles. You are the one chosen to break it. That's why your energy has felt heavier, why your emotions have been heightened, and why the people around you are reacting in strange ways. You're not just healing for yourself, you're healing for your entire lineage. Every prayer you've said, every tear you've shed, every time you chose peace instead of chaos, you've been cutting cords that go back lifetimes. The Devil card reminds us that loops are fueled by attachment, fear, and illusion. Spirit says some people around you are subconsciously trying to keep you in those loops, not because they hate you, but because your evolution challenges their comfort. You might notice that some individuals who once felt close now feel distant or strange. That's because your vibration is rising, and their energy can no longer stay hidden in your light. The closer you get to freedom, the more you'll see who's clinging to old versions of you. And it's okay. That clarity is part of your liberation. There's also a strong message here about ancestral protection. Spirit is saying your ancestors are not just guiding you, they're guarding you. They see the unseen, the whispers behind your back, the energy in the room before you walk in. The Devil card doesn't mean evil, it means awareness, knowing what energy belongs to you and what doesn't. You are being shown who truly supports your growth and who secretly resents your strength. Don't internalize their projections. Instead, use your discernment like a weapon of light. When you choose to rise, you break their hold without ever needing to confront them. Spirit is also saying that your spiritual gifts are maturing, and that's why this resistance is surfacing now. Your intuition is sharper, your empathy stronger, your connection to source deeper. And that can intimidate those still stuck in shadow. But the Devil card brings empowerment. It says that once you see the illusion, it loses its power. You're no longer bound by the cycles of fear, guilt, or obligation that kept your ancestors repeating the same patterns. You've already begun the work, Divine Feminine. and Spirit is making sure you finish it protected and victorious. Finally, Spirit wants you to remember, being chosen doesn't mean being burdened. It means being trusted. You were trusted with this mission because you have the strength, grace, and spiritual maturity to carry it out. The devil represents the breaking of chains, and that's exactly what's happening in your life. So when the energy feels heavy, breathe. You're not being punished. You're being purified. Every shadow you face is a doorway to deeper freedom. You are the cycle breaker, the light in your lineage, and your ancestors are standing guard, making sure that every chain ends with you. Before we pull the next card, I just want to pause for a moment and check in with you. How has this been resonating with you so far? If something in these first 3 cards has already spoken to your heart, let me know in the comments. I love reading how these messages meet you right where you are. All right, let's go ahead and see what Spirit has for us as we pull the next card. I just pulled the Magician and Divine Feminine. This card aligns perfectly with the energy that's coming through. The Magician appears when your voice becomes your power, when what you speak begins to shape your reality. Spirit is saying your throat chakra is wide open right now, and that's not by accident. This is your time to declare, affirm, and create with your words. The universe is listening closely to what you speak over your life, so Spirit is reminding you. Your tongue is a tool for manifestation. The Magician holds all the elements: thought, emotion, action, and intention. And you, Divine Feminine, are learning how to balance them all through your voice. When you speak truth, you shift energy. When you affirm peace, you silence fear. Your guides are also teaching you discernment, when to speak and when to stay silent. The Magician knows the power of timing. Spirit says there will be moments when your silence will speak louder than any explanation, and moments when your words will carry the exact frequency needed to break through barriers. Trust those nudges. When you feel the urge to speak your truth, it's not random. It's your higher self commanding the energy around you. And when you feel pulled to be still, that's Spirit moving in silence on your behalf. Either way, your power is active. There's a strong ancestral presence helping you unlock this mastery. For some, this guide feels like a bold, no-nonsense feminine energy, someone who once used their voice to stand for truth, even when it wasn't easy. You might feel their presence when you speak from your heart, or when you refuse to be silenced. They're pushing you to write your own story, to use your voice as a divine instrument of freedom. The Magician says you are not repeating history. You are rewriting it. Every word you speak with love and clarity sends healing 7 generations back and 7 generations forward. Spirit is saying this is why your voice carries so much impact. It holds memory, magic, and truth. When you share your ideas, your art, your story, even your quiet reflections, it changes the vibration around you. People might not always understand it, but they feel it. You are meant to disrupt old patterns and question outdated ways of thinking. That's why your presence alone shifts rooms. The Magician doesn't follow the rules of others. They create new ones. And that's what you're doing. Consciously or not, you're becoming the blueprint for those who will come after you. Finally, Spirit wants to remind you, your words are spells, your thoughts are seeds, and your belief is the wand. The magician's lesson is to speak with intention, move with confidence, and trust that your voice is never too small to create change. So keep affirming your peace. Keep speaking your dreams into existence. Keep breaking cycles through honesty and authenticity. You were born to move energy through language, to heal, to awaken, to inspire. And every time you open your mouth to speak life over yourself, your ancestors are right there, nodding, smiling, and saying, "Yes, that's exactly how we set you free." Divine Feminine, we have here the Sun card. The sun appears when your light becomes undeniable, when no matter who tries to dim it, it shines even brighter. Spirit is saying you are the exception because you were never meant to blend in. You were meant to illuminate. You carry a frequency that naturally breaks patterns and heals lineages just by existing as your authentic self. That's why people react to you so strongly. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because your energy exposes what's hidden in others. The sun doesn't apologize for shining, it just does. And that's exactly what Spirit wants you to remember right now. Your warmth, your voice, your truth, your joy. All of it is your power. Your light triggers and inspires at the same time. Some people around you are still learning how to face their own shadows, and your energy makes that process unavoidable. That's why they might project, withdraw, or even envy you, not out of hate, but out of fear. The sun brings clarity, and clarity can be uncomfortable for those still living in illusion. Spirit says don't shrink to make others comfortable. You're not meant to dim your brilliance to fit in with energies that haven't caught up to your frequency yet. You're leading by example, and even if they don't admit it, your courage is planting seeds of change in them. There's also a deep reminder here that your joy is sacred. The sun doesn't just represent success, it represents childlike freedom, peace, and authenticity. You're stepping into a season where you no longer need to justify your happiness or explain your path. Every time you choose joy, every time you speak truth without fear, you are breaking another layer of the old cycle. Spirit says this is how you heal generations, not through struggle, but through radiance. You show others what's possible when someone fully chooses themselves. And because your light is so powerful, it attracts both admiration and attention. Spirit is saying your ancestors are making sure that those drawn to your light only see what they're meant to. You are divinely filtered and spiritually protected. Anyone with unclear intentions will simply be blinded by your radiance until they face their own shadows. That's why you never have to defend your energy. Your light does it for you. Spirit is also saying that this new light within you is not just something others can see. It's something you can feel. You're starting to notice how easily peace finds you now, how quickly your energy resets after chaos, how naturally you choose calm instead of conflict. That's not coincidence. That's growth. The Sun card represents inner alignment, that moment when who you truly are finally matches the way you show up in the world. You no longer chase validation or over-explain your purpose. You simply exist, and that existence radiates power. There's a part of you that's learning to accept this glow-up without guilt. Spirit says it's okay to be proud of how far you've come. You've endured seasons of darkness that others didn't see. The breakdowns, the healing, the quiet rebuilding of your faith. The sun shines because it's earned its light, and so have you. It's time to enjoy the fruits of your endurance. You're not being selfish by celebrating your progress. You're honoring the divine work you've done to get here. And while some may not understand your journey, Spirit says that's not your concern anymore. Those meant to walk with you will match your frequency, not fight against it. The ones who once judged you will eventually learn from the strength you've shown. You're not here to prove anything. You're here to embody everything that faith, love, and healing can create when someone refuses to give up. The sun teaches you that when you live in truth, everything meant for you will orbit around your light. Spirit also wants you to know that your success will not only bless you, it will awaken others. The people who once questioned your choices will see what happens when divine timing and divine purpose meet. You were never meant to fit in, divine feminine. You were meant to lead. You are living proof that joy is revolutionary, that peace is powerful, and that light will always outlast the shadow. Keep walking in your warmth, because the world needs it more than ever. So, divine feminine, the sun is your confirmation. You are the exception because you are the breakthrough. You are the one who turns darkness into direction, pain into purpose, and endings into rebirth. Keep walking in your light. Keep speaking your truth. Keep smiling even when others misunderstand it, because your smile alone carries codes of healing. Spirit says your success isn't coming. It's already rising, and everyone who once doubted you will soon have no choice but to see what your ancestors always knew. You were born to shine. Divine Feminine, I just pulled our last card for this reading, which is the Judgment. Spirit could not have chosen a more powerful card to close this reading. The Judgment card appears when everything in your life is aligning for awakening, clarity, and truth. Spirit is saying right now, nothing happening around you is random. It's divine revelation. Every person revealing their true colors, every sudden shift, every strange coincidence is Spirit communicating with you directly. You're not imagining it. You're not overanalyzing. This is what spiritual awareness looks like when it's sharpening. Your soul is recognizing patterns before your mind can. Judgment comes through to awaken you to what's real, to show you what's meant to stay and what's meant to end. Spirit is saying this is not a coincidence, it's confirmation. When you are chosen, your lessons, your guidance, and your timing are all orchestrated for your growth. The people around you are being placed in divine positions to help reveal truths that set you free. Some truths will sting, others will liberate, but all of them are meant to align you with your higher path. The Judgment card is the moment where illusions collapse and discernment takes over. For many of you, this is also a season of evaluation, of finally seeing where you've given too much benefit of the doubt and where you've ignored your own intuition in the name of love or loyalty. Spirit is saying those days are over. You no longer need to explain or defend what you feel. Don't fall back into doubt. Doubt is what keeps you stuck in loops. Truth is what breaks you free. Judgment energy is all about awakening to your own power, to your ability to call back your energy, to trust yourself again, and to move forward without guilt. This card also carries the vibration of purpose. Spirit is saying, you didn't come this far to question what you already know. Every revelation right now is leading you closer to your mission, the work, the calling, the legacy that your ancestors have been preparing you for. That's why this season feels intense. You're not just being guided, you're being refined. Spirit is closing old chapters and opening new doors, and it's all happening exactly as planned. Finally, Divine Feminine. Judgment reminds you that awareness is your armor. Nothing you're seeing, hearing, or feeling is a coincidence. Everything is divine communication. Your ancestors are walking with you, intercepting energy that doesn't belong in your path and giving you spiritual heads-up signs before anything unfolds. So when the signs appear, when your intuition speaks, listen. You are not being warned out of fear. You are being prepared through wisdom. Spirit is also saying that this moment in your life marks a turning point, a spiritual checkpoint where your awareness becomes your greatest protection. You're not the same person you were even a few months ago. Your energy has matured. Your discernment has sharpened. The old version of you that ignored red flags or settled for less no longer exists. The Judgment card is your reminder that evolution comes with endings, and endings are not losses. They're redirections. Spirit is clearing distractions from your path so your focus can stay on what's meant to grow. This energy also carries the vibration of accountability, not just for others, but for yourself. Spirit is asking you to honor the new standards you've set. You've prayed for peace, and now you're being asked to protect it. You've prayed for clarity, and now the truth is being revealed, even when it's uncomfortable. This is what answered prayers look like. Not always soft, but always necessary. The Judgment card calls you to rise above emotion and see things from a higher view. You're being invited to step into a space of spiritual maturity where you no longer chase validation, you just trust your knowing. And here's the beautiful part. Everything that's being revealed right now is aligning you for blessings that require this level of awareness. Spirit is not punishing you. Spirit is promoting you. You're being positioned for something bigger, something that can't be built on illusion or instability. The truths surfacing now are the foundation for what's next. So instead of asking, why is this happening? Ask, what is this teaching me? Because everything you've endured has been preparation for the clarity and purpose that this season brings. The Judgment card closes this reading as both a wake-up call and a blessing. Divine Feminine, this isn't coincidence, it's confirmation. Every revelation, every shift, every sign is part of your ascension. You are walking in truth, protected by purpose, and surrounded by guidance that never fails. Trust what you see. Trust what you feel. Spirit is saying, you've passed the test. Now step fully into who you were always meant to be. Okay, this feels like a beautiful place to close the reading. What we've seen here is a reminder that your energy is powerful, your journey is guided, and Spirit is always working in ways you may not fully see yet. Trust that what is meant for you will always find its way, and you don't need to chase. Just allow yourself to stay aligned and open. If you feel called to dive deeper, the exclusive and extended version of our readings are available right now on Patreon and through YouTube memberships. That's where we really expand on these messages and explore the layers that Spirit couldn't fit into this space. Also, don't forget to check out the community posts and today's energy reading updates. I love connecting with you there and hearing how these messages meet you in your own journey. Drop your comments below, share your personal requests, and let me know how this reading spoke to you. And if you'd like to keep the energy flowing, I've linked some other videos here that I know will guide and encourage you. I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now.